Vegeta has finally achieved something that we have not seen in a very long time. He may potentially have surpassed Ultra Instinct Goku, but did he really? Is he gonna be able to defeat Granolah next month? Joining me today, my name is Geekdom 101. You already know. But joining me today is the one and only Mr. Senpai. So beautiful, Mr. Senpai. Look at you, sexy man.
Hola, mi gente. My name is Mr. Senpai, and today we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 74 and 75, Granolah versus Vegeta, with translations from Viz, not from Herms98 today. So, Vegeta did real good. Let's talk about it. What is the outcome? Is Vegeta going to beat Granolah or not? What I want to do on this video, we're going to be discussing that. Plus, has Vegeta found a power on par with UI? How do you compare him to Topo? We're going to be asking several questions, and we want all of you to leave a comment down below to answer all of these questions. And if you're new here, subscribe. Hit the notification bell and like it. We talk about Dragon Ball all the time here. Geekdom, or whatever your name is. Let's get started.
I think we have a little bit of conflict here, Geekdom. I think we disagree on this. Vegeta is finally, confidently, I can say that he's going to get the W.
In the last chapter, 74, he really seems to have, in a way, outsmarted Granolah, because Granolah is the strongest, but Vegeta told him that might not last. And also, just being the strongest does not mean that you can win every fight. I think if Vegeta is going to win this fight, I think it'll be based on his intellect, not on his strength. I think they're still going to say Granolah's the strongest, but maybe not. Because this new Hakai power, we don't know much about it. We don't know anything about it. We'll talk about it here on this video. I still think, though, there's going to be an interruption. I think that the heaters will probably summon the dragon in this chapter, and then when it goes dark, they're going to be like, wait, what's going on? And that will stop the fight. Vegeta, with this new Hakai form, like, he might, that combined with what he knows about Granolah might be enough to at least stop Granolah. Maybe not kill him, but at least stop him. But you think he's going to win?
Vegeta has been taking the L so many times to the point where even when they hyped him up with the last technique from the last saga, that buildup was on purpose. That was on purpose for this moment, for him to surpass Goku and defeat the big baddie, which is currently Granolah. This is not the same Vegeta that we've seen before. We've seen a Vegeta that has been holding back, but now he's gonna be able to go full out, no holding back. A savage, monstrous Vegeta that we have not seen in a very long time, and I don't think Granolah's ready for him. If you look at the way that Granolah fights, he's a bounty hunter. So a lot of the techniques that Granolah uses are to capture the person, right? Vegeta, on the other hand, he was trained to kill.
Vegeta seems to have been holding back, but is Granolah holding back? Because Granolah's fighting Vegeta, right? But Granolah has not stated he's at full power yet. And he might have some kind of power that we have not seen yet. Toriyama and Toyotaro have had this history of, and I don't like this, by the way, they give a character a boost and they figure out some way to cut off his balls. So for all intents and purposes, Granolah might have this secret power, or what I am worried about, and I am legitimately worried about this, is they're going to pull something out of their ass where they're going to say, oh, well, Vegeta's new God of Destruction power works for like a limited time, or he, you know, like with UI and with God, where Vegeta will be
60 seconds.
He could be beating his ass, and then suddenly he goes back to normal again. He's like, what happened? Oh, your body can't maintain that form for this long. They have used that trope, I don't know how many times. It's played out, but I could see them doing that, where maybe Vegeta is going to pound on Granolah, pause, and then that happens. And then Granolah's like, haha, well, you know, that could happen, man, and I'm really worried about that.
When the dragon gave Granolah his powers, it made him the strongest warrior in the universe. We find out in this chapter that he wasn't even training. He was that confident. And on top of that, Granolah says, oh, the reason why I used a fake copy of me is because I didn't want to use all my power. I need to save some energy for the fight against Frieza. So that's already Granolah exposing one of his weaknesses. He knows that even though he thinks he can defeat Goku and Vegeta, that's still going to drain his power. We haven't even talked about Force Spirit Fission, talking about draining powers. We'll get to that later in this video. When you take that into account, I don't think he has any hidden powers.
Make sure that if you're new here, you subscribe and hit the like button for all these Dragon Ball discussions we have. Topo in the Tournament of Power was God of Destruction. Now we have Vegeta. I'm pretty sure, I mean, I'm very sure that Vegeta has surpassed Toppo, probably even the previous arc from the TOP, but do you think that Vegeta now has a better understanding of Hakai power? I think the answer is yes, and I think that next chapter, chapter 75, we're going to see Vegeta bust out some new techniques that God of Destruction used. Like, we might see the Hakai, we might see other things like that, but I think Vegeta is surpassed Toppo, or has surpassed Toppo as far as knowledge of being God of Destruction goes.
This is where I'm conflicted. I do agree with you that I think Vegeta has surpassed Toppo, but when you look at the energy, the ki, the aura that Vegeta was using, it may not actually be the same as the one that Toppo was using.
Goku did say he sensed God power, but it wasn't just regular God power.
The energy that he had didn't have the same visual effect. Toppo, on the other hand, is Hakai, right? It destroys everything.
Well, we might see that next chapter, though. You know what I mean? Like, now that Vegeta's in that form fully, now I think we might see stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
How long has Toppo been training with the gods? How long has he specifically been training to take the job of a God of Destruction? Right. That means he's gonna learn specific moves. He might be training for years. Vegeta, on the other hand, maybe a couple of months at most. So even though Vegeta, I think, is more talented as a fighter and as a prodigy, he just won't have the same level of control.
If Goku's big goal is to master Ultra Instinct, do you think that this new Hakaishin form that Vegeta's using, if this is his sort of answer to it? Like, maybe they're not even neck and neck necessarily, but maybe this can be Vegeta's way of going his own path. And for all we know, this form he's using could be like an omen type of thing, and we're going to have a real new form later. Do you think this is on par with UI for Vegeta?
I think a lot of us made a big mistake a couple of chapters ago. We made the assumption to think that Beerus, because he's a God of Destruction, he can't have a calm spirit and calm soul, and that's why he can't do Ultra Instinct. At the same time, we forgot that in the manga,
he did do it.
He did do Ultra Instinct. So, achieving Ultra Instinct, there's actually two methods of it. It's the way, the angelic method, the way that you have a calm spirit, but it could also be another method as a God of Destruction who doesn't have a calm spirit, but can let go of everything that's holding you back, which is what Beerus told Vegeta. You can achieve this power, but you have to let go of this, this, and that. Instinct,
right?
It may be a different form of Ultra Instinct while still being Ultra Instinct.
Ultra Instinct is just a marketing name. It's supposed to be the mastery of self-movement. But nonetheless, that's still something interesting. Do you think that, like you said, they're both like different versions of UI? One is the calm angelic and one is the destructive rage version. Like, that would be a cool idea. I'm not saying that's what's really happening. I mean, I like your idea, but that would be a great pathway for Vegeta to go on, you know? Now, about Force Spirit Fission, people have to remember this about next chapter. Vegeta, if he didn't use it, he still has Force Spirit Fission in his back pocket. I'm not saying that I guarantee that Vegeta's going to win, because I don't think he's going to win. I think it's going to be the fight will be interrupted, but can Vegeta win? I think if Vegeta does have Force Spirit Fission, if he can still bust that out against Granolah at some point, Granolah probably has no idea how to counter that unless he already knows the move, which is possible. But I think if Vegeta can use his God of Destruction powers, he can at least throw Granolah off guard to where Granolah, and this was established in this chapter, doesn't know how to fully utilize that super strong body. So I think maybe if Vegeta goes after his eye thing, which we talked about a couple of videos ago, maybe Granolah will be so discombobulated and so confused that at that point, it's not that he doesn't have the power. Vegeta will even say, you're stronger than me, but you don't know how to fight. And you can be super strong. There's tons of guys who work out in the gym all day. You hit them one time and they go down. Like, it doesn't matter how big your muscles are, even if you wish to be the strongest. If you don't know how to fight, it's not going to be as effective. It's like what happened to Captain Ginyu in Goku's body. So do you think that Force Spirit Fission will become a factor in the fight with Granolah?
It already was the factor. It was the deciding factor, because let me tell you this. When Granolah was fighting against Ultra Instinct Omen, he was still beating Goku. It wasn't until Goku went full Ultra Instinct that he then started kind of pushing back. Now, when you look at this fight, you saw in the beginning, Vegeta was just getting his booty smacked all day long. And then towards the end, it almost looked like he was even with Granolah. He was throwing some punches. He was blocking some punches. How did that suddenly happen? And then on top of that, Vegeta states that he's somehow getting stronger throughout the fight. Throughout that encounter and interaction, he was stealing some of Granolah's ki through Force Spirit Fission. And that's what allowed him to still put up a fight against him, even though Ultra Instinct Omen Goku couldn't. Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue, could.
The thing is, Saiyans get stronger as they fight. There's been a lot of debates in the fandom about whether or not they're still getting Zenkai. There was a couple different statements that may say they didn't get them, but Zenkai's always been a thing where, every time Vegeta, maybe Granolah's punches hurt so much that Vegeta was able to channel them into getting more power. I'm not saying you're wrong or anything like that. I'm just kind of going through the Zenkai motions. Vegeta may have gotten Zenkais in the fight. He wasn't really near death, except for maybe that one little punch thing he did. I don't think he was near death. If they're still using Zenkai, then the question remains, what about Goku? Because Goku just got knocked out by Granolah, chapter 73, and then 74 he wakes up. Could Goku have gotten a power boost? The whole lesson in this chapter is that even if you wish to be the strongest, doesn't necessarily mean you'll stay the strongest, especially against Saiyans who get stronger as they fight. And you're right, if Vegeta is getting stronger, it is a Broly thing, because Broly was getting stronger and stronger as they fought. Maybe Vegeta's figured out a way to do that. I mean, this guy's they've been training for a while, bro. I don't know. So you think he was using Force Spirit Vision? Unquestionably.
They had the entire saga to build that up. He now has a new technique. He can and that's his technique, right? We're not really seeing him use instant transmission, even though he can use it, because he still feels like, oh, that's Goku's thing. It makes sense for him to stack different powers, because Force Spirit Vision is something that you can just use as you're getting punched, you're stealing energy. You don't really have to think about it. I think he's been using it this whole time.
But then, of course, the question is, what's going to happen with the new form now? Because I think a lot of people think that Vegeta's going to beat this guy, and it's not going to be that easy, bro, because he's still the strongest. This is my actual prediction. Like I said the last time we did this video, Vegeta's going to go after that eye thing, maybe eliminate Oatmeal from being involved, and, knock out that AI or whatever, and then Granolah is going to be confused. He's going to be he's not going to know what to do. And then Vegeta will tell him, like, okay, you have a lot of power, but you don't have the instincts to be a fighter. Even though he's very strong, I think that's the whole lesson here, is that Granolah's just not a fighter. He might be a bounty hunter, but he's not a lifetime fighter. And I think that's going to be a humbling lesson for Granolah. I think at some point, not chapter 75, but at some point he will realize that Goku and Vegeta are not working for Frieza and get over it. But that's not going to happen next chapter. I think the next chapter is going to be mostly a fight, with probably the cliffhanger being the Heater's wish. That's my prediction officially. What do you think?
Because I think Vegeta's gonna be a savage now. I predicted Vegeta was going to use Granolah to psych him out, break his mental balance by using the surrounding city. And we saw a little bit of that with the old city being destroyed. Vegeta is going to play on that because he now knows it pushes Granolah's buttons. He's going to teleport. He's going to aim at the city where the Shugarians are and say, if you don't stop,
kill them.
I'm going to kill and destroy all these people. And that's going to force Granolah to stop, because then we're going to see something about Granolah. What's more important to him? The people on the planet or his revenge, the moral dilemma. And that's going to ultimately solidify that Granolah really isn't a bad person, because when it comes down to it, he's going to make the right choice and he's going to choose the Shugarians over his revenge.
I like your idea, but I think that's only going to happen if Vegeta loses, because that's a desperate technique. If Vegeta with God of Destruction powers pounds this dude into oblivion, there's not going to be a need to do that. I think what you're talking about is if Vegeta can't beat this guy, which people are already saying that Vegeta surpassed UI Goku. I don't think we have enough evidence for that yet. We've only seen him transform. Like, we just don't have enough evidence yet. What we do know is that Vegeta is able to psychologically with Granolah, and that's where I think he might get him. I think he's mentally breaking him, and I like that. I actually like that, and I think that makes Vegeta a very cunning fighter. I got to give Toyotawa credit, man. Like I've said it before, I'm not really into this arc at all. I think it's a very lazy arc, but it's getting better. But you know, at the end of the day, they're all going to be friends and make up anyways, because the real enemy is the real. We still got 7-3. We're not even halfway done with this arc. We got 7-3 back there somewhere. We got Alec and all those guys. Like, and you know, this is not over, bro. This is not. Goku's awake now. What if Goku's the one who goes to confront Alec? Like, there's just a lot of things that could happen. But I do think this chapter will be mostly focused on Vegeta and that new power he has. And I look forward to seeing where it goes.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Are you guys on Team Geekdom? You think Alec is going to interrupt? Or are you on Team Senpai? You think Vegeta is going to win? Let us know in the comments below. I'm really curious.
And if you're on
gonna
neither
be good.
team, that's fine. Just let us know what you think is going to happen and answer those questions. What do you think the outcome's going to be? Is Vegeta's form on par with UI? Is Granolah holding back? I really want to know because this is going to be a debate. Just be kind to one another because this is going to be a furious debate for the next month. You know how it is. Let's see. I really hope that, bro, if Toyotaro and Toriyama pull that, oh, the form only works for 3 minutes, I'm going to be so livid if they pull that lazy shit. Hopefully not, but thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll talk to you guys very soon.